Have you ever heard of a glass mouse pad? Because up until about 2 months ago, I had never heard that. As a matter of fact, up until about 2 months ago, I had never even thought of the possibility of a mouse pad with a glass panel on top even being a thing at all. I was stuck in my nice, comfortable little world where these were the kinds of mouse pads existed, and only these. Okay, fine, and also the really, really long ones. But no, never ever occurred to me that a glass mouse pad could even be a thing. And so, 2 months ago, a company called Flash Beyond emailed me and they're like, hey man, would you be interested in reviewing our glass mouse pad? Having never heard of such a thing, I was like, absolutely, yes, I'd be interested. Please send it over. About a week later, here's what I got. And yeah, this thing is huge. The most glaringly obvious thing that stood out to me the minute I started using this mouse pad is the fact that my mouse would literally glide across it. And there is a significant difference between using a mouse on a glass mouse pad versus the traditional cloth ones, even the ones that are designed for gamers. I'm not joking when I say that. The lightest of taps on your mouse, on this glass mouse pad, will cause your mouse to move and glide more than you would expect it to were you to apply the same amount of force on that same exact mouse on a traditional cloth gaming mouse pad. Yeah. Since I got the mouse pad in, it has been the only thing I've used on my desk. And I'll start with the cons, okay? Number one, it's too big. It really is too big, and that's not the fault of the product. I just chose a size that was too big, okay? Number two, if you don't keep this thing clean, you will hear what appears to be scratching going on the glass surface itself. And it's going to annoy you, and you're going to think that you're scoring into the glass itself, but you're not. But still, it just sounds weird. It's almost like the nails running down the chalkboard. It's annoying. As far as cons, that's pretty much it because everything else about this is pretty darn cool. And I'm not going to try and over exaggerate it. Look, here's the deal. I've used this for everyday use. I've used it for gaming. I've used it for editing. And now that I'm used to using this glass mouse pad, my movements are so precise, are so smooth that I cannot go back to using a traditional mouse pad anymore because I can now feel the literal difference in resistance across the two. If you're someone who wants the absolute smoothest motion possible when using your mouse on a mouse pad for things like FPS gaming, for example, I would highly recommend you get yourself one of these guys right here, especially if you want something large and bulky that'll give you plenty of space to really move around with, right? If you doubt your ability to be able to adjust to something like that, and if you take your game super seriously, because you're gonna suck at first for a little while until you get used to it. If you don't want to deal with that, then maybe this might not be the right product for you. But if you're someone who really wants to experience precision movement when it comes to using your mouse on your computer, be it for everyday use, gaming, editing, etc., this thing is pretty freaking awesome. If you like what you hear and you're interested in checking it out, you can get yours today on Amazon. They're about $50 for the smaller versions, and the version that I have, which is the larger version, the 50 by 40, that one's going to run you $70. And I'll tell you, for someone who moderately cares about their performance in a game like Battlefield 6, which I was playing earlier today, the open beta, this thing is amazing to play shooters on. So yeah, glass mouse pads, they're a thing and they're freaking awesome. Anyways, appreciate y'all time watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. You found it informative and helpful. Until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to one another. Peace out.